what's the best way to segue into this, but I think the ref took it easy on Ireland. With not just the yellow cards, but the scrumming as well.
Yeah.
Because even that first half penalty try was after how many scrums?
Yeah, it was
And
literally
then,
like 5 minutes.
and then if you go to the 59th minute, and I know if you look at the clock on the game, the scrum started in the 59th minute and it ended in the 61st.
Yeah.
But I think it took over 20 plus minutes for that section of play. And people were saying, "Oh, it's slowing down the game. It's slowing down the game." Yes, but also there should have been a penalty try in there and a yellow card too, because it was penalty after penalty after penalty. And I just think he took it easy on them because of what happened in the first half, and because they got a poker handful of cards, that he took it easy on them in the second. But there should have been more penalty tries in that second half as well. And that was a little frustrating because I think if he didn't take like all the shit that happened in the first half into consideration and treated that moment as a moment in its own, they would have got a yellow, there would have been a penalty try, and the game would have picked up a lot quicker. So if they're arguing, the speed of the game, fine. But then when you win 3, 4, 5, 6 scrum penalties in a row, it's not the team that's winning's fault that they're dominating them. It's the other team. If you can't hold the scrum, give the penalty try and let's move on with the game. That's not the Springboks' fault that took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not Ireland's fault either. They were under the cosh. So then it's up to the referee to say, look, we can't do 30 scrums in a row. We're going to give the penalty try and let's continue with the game.
Yeah. But also, speaking of, I want to go back to that the first half, the penalty try.
Mm-hmm.
There was no card given for that penalty try.
I mean, to be fair, he did give a card before that one.
Yeah,
so,
but that's not how penalty tries work.
Yes, but like
You can't say yes.
I understand
2
the
podcasts
rule.
ago you were saying, "Oh no, I'm a sucker for the rules, and I don't want to bend the rules."
Okay, but then when he gave the yellow card in the previous scrum, that should have been the penalty try. So
That's
it's the
not what
referee's
happened, though.
mistake.
Yeah.
It's the referee's mistake.
But anyway, how fucking good are scrums? Yes, I don't think Ireland will ever win a scrum against South Africa ever again.
I mean, they're gonna do the worst scrum practice next time they get together. There was I want to get his name right because obviously he's more famous than you and I will ever be. But what's his name? Matt Williams. He was talking about the scrumming being a disaster for the game. And back in his day, if you got pushed off the board, wasn't yeah, sure, then let us continue pushing. We'll push Ireland over the try line and give us the try. But they infringed and gave us the penalty.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah. What's that awesome Welsh referee that's retired?
Nigel Owens.
Nigel Owens had a good point. And people were saying how after this game, it shows how the scrums are ruining rugby and it slows down the game too much. And he said something that I've heard before and it makes the most sense. And it's something that's always been taught to us when we started playing rugby, was rugby is a sport for men and women or boys and girls of all sizes. There's a position for everybody to play. If you're the smallest person on the field, you usually play scrum half. If you're the biggest person on the field, you're normally playing prop. If you're the tallest person on the field, you're playing lock. If you get rid of scrums, all we're doing is playing rugby league. That already exists. If you